Now, where do you fit in? With the technology that comes out of the universities and the IP that comes out of these universities, it's usually, if we look elsewhere in Americas and in countries where innovation systems work, is that these technologies are commercialized by entrepreneurs like yourselves. And they go into market, new industries are created, and which is something that I think we can do better in South Africa. And your role in it, it's really that cog that comes in, not only from your ideas, but through the model that we have adopted, which is called the Quadruple Helix model. We would like you not only to use your own technologies, but to partner with universities so that you can take the IP that has been created by our research councils and universities and commercialize it. As TIA, in the role that we've put in our new strategies, we are no longer only going to be a funder, or we are no longer only a funder, but we call ourselves the curator within the National System of Innovation, meaning we as much as we only intervene in certain aspects of that value chain, but we will walk that journey with you from your idea all the way in creating a new industry. And that's the message that we are coming here today, that we're going to hold your hand to make sure that the ideas that you have, obviously they must be viable, don't end up just funding you and letting you go. We will walk with you to a point where we can create industries so that we can grow our economy and create the much needed jobs.
So we established a foundation 10 years ago to only solve the public sector. Because 90% of our lives are impacted by the public sector. Irrespective of how private you want to be, from your schooling to the road, to the hospital, to the laws, to policies. And we realized that if we don't fix the public sector, we're in trouble. Two, we said it must be set up with the youth to solve public sector issues. Because these youth who are here today are the ones impacted by their public sector issues. Whether it's transportation, it's water, it's unemployment, it's lack of education, opportunities. Not some of us who have become urbanized people that maybe have access to more money. The majority of South Africans are challenged by it. So we said, why can't we fix the public sector? We take the youth, we introduce technology, and they must solve it. We chose 10 public sector issues, starting from unemployment to electricity. 10 that are catalytic, and that's what the foundation's job is to do, is to use tech to solve. The biggest investment is going to be fiber and telecommunications. If we have telecoms, it means people will have devices. If they have devices, it means that we'll be able to do some transactions. They don't need a bank. That's because of technology and communications. How come people in our townships don't have your machines to buy your airtime? And the CEO responded, and that led to these red only pay machines everywhere. That technology is South African. It was the first in the world to use Android technology. And today we run it in many countries. So the problem today is now a firm that's paid back the investment mission. It employs more than 60 young South Africans. And we're doing work in South America, we're doing work in Asia.
But despite that identification of variants, did put South Africa in the global map. People didn't realize how advanced science we had here. And just to give you one example, as the COVID pandemic decreased, we put a very large competition, an international competition that allows South Africa to beat 60 global countries to create the World Health Organization mRNA Hub. And in that program alone, we brought over $150 million to South Africa. We brought the biggest genomics equipment in the world to South Africa, but we made that a platform of TIA. What it means that hundreds and hundreds of small business, other research groups get access at very affordable to technology that they do not have. And that's quite important because that's what we have to do as an ecosystem, support the ecosystem, so not only the centers that I direct develop, but other small business and also big business that's starting to produce.
We talk about the curation of the innovation ecosystem. That's really what we are talking about, because it's not enough to just invest in the development of that prototype and leave that innovator without market. And we are also quite aware of the fact that government is the biggest single procurer of products. And it becomes then very important to have that quadruple helix, so that as we are developing these technologies, or as we are funding this development of these technologies, we are able to open the market for them. We usually travel with the minister. We should be saying to the minister, we have these technologies in South Africa. If the deputy minister is going to some country, let's have some bilateral agreements with those countries so that we can open an African market.
Because ultimately, a more vibrant ecosystem and economic system in South Africa is the answer to catalyzing economic prosperity, which in turn solves the issue of unemployment, which in turn gives people purpose, and so forth the ecosystem emerges. But do they have the opportunity to partner at the right price point with the right value proposition that is affordable for the market that they address? And that is the thing, right? Because we speak about, inclusivity. But often when we look at our practices, it creates a continuation of the exclusivity. So until we don't meet the people at the right price point, in the right consumption models, in the right aggregation models, with the right product sets that allows them to then add value to their environment, you ain't winning the war.
If there's a challenge to Tia and to the Deputy Minister and to my colleagues on the left, let's contribute some energy to build a social impact assessment model. Can technology change the lives of our people? If we answer this, you will have a bright South Africa.